There's nothing quite like a slice of homemade fruitcake to warm the heart and tantalize the taste buds. It's a timeless classic, perfect for any occasion, from festive gatherings to simple afternoon tea. This recipe is incredibly easy to follow, even for novice bakers. You'll be amazed by how simple it is to create a fruitcake bursting with flavor and aroma. So, gather your ingredients, put on your apron, and let's embark on this delightful baking adventure together. Before we begin, let's gather our ingredients. Like a symphony orchestra tuning their instruments before a grand performance. We'll need both dry and wet ingredients. And of course, a colorful medley of fruits and nuts. 250 grams of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a quarter teaspoon of ground cloves, a quarter teaspoon of salt, 150 grams of unsalted butter softened, 150 grams of granulated sugar asterisk, 3 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of milk, 150 grams of mixed dried fruits such as raisins, sultanas, and currants, 50 grams of chopped walnuts, 50 grams of chopped pecans. Now that we have our ingredients assembled, let's prepare for the baking process. This involves preheating the oven, preparing the baking pan, and giving our dried fruits a little head start. Preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Celsius if you're using a fan oven, and line a 20-centimeter round cake tin with parchment paper. Lightly grease the parchment paper with butter to prevent sticking. To plump up the dried fruits, place them in a bowl and cover them with boiling water. Let them soak for about 30 minutes, then drain and pat dry. By taking these simple steps, we ensure that our fruitcake bakes evenly and develops a beautiful golden crust. Now comes the exciting part, mixing the batter. This is where the magic happens and the flavors begin to meld together. In a large bowl, whisk together the flour, baking powder, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and salt. In a separate bowl, cream together the softened butter and sugar until light and fluffy. This will create a lovely, airy texture in our cake. Beat in the eggs one at a time, ensuring each one is fully incorporated before adding the next. Stir in the vanilla extract. Gradually add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, mixing on low speed until just combined. Be careful not to overmix the batter, as this can result in a tough cake. With our batter ready, it's time to add the stars of the show, the fruits and nuts. These will infuse our cake with bursts of flavor and delightful textures. Fold in the plumped dried fruits and chopped nuts, ensuring they are evenly distributed throughout the batter. Next, pour the batter into the prepared cake tin and spread it evenly with a spatula. Now comes the moment of truth, baking our fruitcake to perfection. This requires a bit of patience, but the aroma that will soon fill your kitchen will be well worth the wait. Bake the cake for 1 hour and 30 minutes to 1 hour and 45 minutes, or until a skewer inserted into the center comes out clean. If the cake is browning too quickly, cover it loosely with foil for the last 30 minutes of baking. Once baked, let the cake cool in the tin for 10 minutes before inverting it onto a wire rack to cool completely. While this recipe is delicious as is, there are always ways to elevate the flavor and make it your own. Here are a few ideas. Soaking the fruits in alcohol. For a richer flavor, you can soak the dried fruits in brandy, rum, or sherry overnight before adding them to the batter. Adding citrus zest. A tablespoon of grated orange or lemon zest adds a lovely citrusy aroma and flavor to the cake. Using different nuts. Feel free to experiment with different nuts, such as almonds, hazelnuts, or macadamia nuts. Making it vegan. You can easily make this recipe vegan by substituting the butter with vegan margarine and the eggs with flax eggs, which is 1 tablespoon ground flaxseed mixed with 3 tablespoons water. Your homemade fruitcake is now ready to be savored. Slice it up and serve it with a dollop of clotted cream or a warm cup of tea. It's the perfect treat for any time of day. Serving tip. For a festive touch, dust the cake with icing sugar or decorate it with marzipan and royal icing. Enjoy the fruits of your labor and the warmth and joy that a homemade fruitcake brings.